Alright, take number 2.
Lightweight, baby!
Hey, how's it going? This is Danny from Made of Metal, aka Britain's Strongest Drummer, and I am coming to you with a long overdue recap of what happened at the UKNS UK Final, which happened at Crossfit Limitless in Galway over the 3rd and the 4th of June. Now, cards on the table, this is my second attempt at recording this video. With my under 80 kilogram England's Strongest Man recap, I managed to film that like the day after the competition because everything was fresh in my mind. I didn't need to make any notes or anything and just bashed it out. But what I didn't quite consider for the UKNS UK Final is there were 10 weight classes competing over the weekend, well over 100 athletes. How do you recap that? And especially, how do you recap a competition like that when the live stream that was broadcast by Irish Strength, which is still up on YouTube, was so amazing. I caught up with it myself, the production, the commentary, world class. So what is the point of me going through event by event, recapping everything when it's all there? Just go and watch the live stream. But I have to do something, right? I have to do some sort of summary of the competition as a whole. I competed as an under 80 kilogram athlete. And it was an amazing weekend. It was a great weekend on both sides, the women's side on the Saturday and the men's side on the Sunday. It was a very quick competition. They managed to squeeze on the men's day. It was the under 80s, 90s and the masters men. So 3 weight classes. They managed to turn around 6 events in, I think, 3 hours. Started at 11 and we were done and dusted by 2:30, so that was very quick. Yeah, I'm just remembering, getting flashbacks to how hot and sweaty that gym was. So yeah, let's go through event by event. I'm not going to exhaustively list every performance in every weight class because I will be here for forever. And honestly, that last video that I tried to record, it's basically an hour of me staring blankly into the camera. I might release it eventually because it might be quite funny just to see how disheveled and haggard I look after traveling something like, what was it, 1,000 miles all in. It was a long trip. So the first event was the log into axle overhead medley. The under 80 kilogram men, we were slightly affected by a 60-second time limit instead of the 75 seconds that every other class got, but it was an oversight that was quickly and easily sorted. I think an extra 15 seconds wouldn't have helped me. One shot, I got 0 reps, which I knew might happen. I have only pressed to date a 100 kilogram log once, and it was my own log at my home gym. So on a different log, whatever, but there were some fantastic performances from the other athletes. So yeah, I did mention the 60-second time limit that the under 80 kilogram lads had, but to be honest, that makes Kyle Scott's 6 reps. 100 kilograms each implement these, the log and the axle. So it just makes Kyle Scott's 6 reps event win in those 60 seconds all the more impressive. Taking the win with 6 reps in the under 90 kilogram class was Pavlos Kouros, I hope I'm saying your name correctly, which was just the start of quite a dominant day for him in the under 90s. And indeed, 6 reps on this event was the highest number of reps across all of the men's classes. So again, congratulations Pavlos and Kyle, I guess. Probably could have done more with an extra 15 seconds, couldn't he? On the women's side of things, in the under 57 kilogram weight class, we had a tie on 7 reps for Willow Brady and Davina Wallace. Chloe Brennan and Becca Morgan took the wins in their respective weight classes with 8 reps apiece, and Gail McComiskey in the Masters Women was the closest over the whole competition to getting double-digit reps on this event. Second event, we had the axle deadlift 4 reps, and there were some battles in this one. Sophie Kennelly in the under 57 kilogram class taking the win there with 10 reps, and there were plenty of other athletes across the classes that managed double digits, which just goes to show the insane strength and conditioning of these athletes. Ailey Gregg and Bronwyn Price shared the win on this event in the under 64 class, whereas in the under 73s, Faye Pittman and Chloe Brennan really pushed each other to 14 reps, which is the highest number of reps across the whole competition on this event. So congratulations, ladies. And on the men's side of things in the under 80 kilogram class, Liam McConville took my pre-competition prediction personally and threw down 11 reps with a 220 kilogram barbell. And yes, Liam, I heard you call me out on the live stream. I promise I won't overlook you on a deadlift event again. The only man to get close was Matt Wally in second place with 9 reps, which is very impressive, but double digits at 220. Well done, Liam. And if we look at the ever so slightly bigger boys, the under 105s, Michael Tennant did 10 reps at 260 kilograms, which is just outrageous. Me, I got 3 reps. I was pretty happy with that. That's like a definite PB. I did 3 reps on a normal bar in a competition a couple of years ago at 220. So 220, 3 reps at 220 on an axle. I'll take that. I used the patented Josh Lancaster / Rob Kearney, I think he does it as well, hitch, which served me well, but I'll do some work on my deadlift. I'll come back and I'll give you a run for your money, Liam. Let's just say that, yeah? The third event was a Zercher yoke carry, so front carry in the crook of the elbow, 12 meters, run back, pick up 1 sandbag, carry that, pop it over the bar of the yoke, run back, grab a second sandbag, and the same. There was another minor slip up on this event which affected the under 80 kilogram athletes once again. For the first 2 legs, one of the yokes was 20 kilograms lighter than it should have been. There wasn't really much that could be done, although the error was spotted quite quickly. There were only 2 legs to go. And in the end, the under 80 kilogram athletes, rather than make the people affected run the event again, we decided that a 1 second penalty on the times was kind of appropriate enough. It's a shame, but props to Dan Clark, under 80 kilogram athlete, who was dead keen to run it again. I don't think anyone else was keen to run that event again because it was a tough event. It was a very fast event. And when I say this was a fast event, I mean this was a fast event. We had half a second separating Willow Brady and Davina Wallace. Time of about 35 seconds on the women's side of things was enough to net you good points. No one quite managing to break that 30-second barrier, though Laura Hollywood got very close with a time of just over 32 seconds. And on the men's side of things, well, how's this? In the under 80 kilogram class, I'm just going to look to the side because I don't want to get these times wrong. These times really mattered. We had Liam McConville with 28.58 seconds, Kyle Scott 27.7 seconds, and Matt Neese 27.57 seconds. That is a race. And that's not it. Andrew Keys and Matt Wally also managed to finish in under 30 seconds, with Scott Alexander just missing out 30.92 seconds. So us small lads can be pretty nippy when we need to be. But not as nippy as the under 90 kilogram guys. Pavlos Kouros taking the win with 26.85 seconds, and Patrick Harris just behind 27.14. Those are the fastest times on this event across the whole weekend. Congratulations. Then we had the farmers carry for time. It was 3 lengths of the track, and I think a combination of the quick turnaround and just the heat made this a particularly taxing event for a lot of the athletes. No one in the under 57 kilogram class or the under 64 kilogram weight class actually managed to finish the run, although Sophie Kennedy and Charlotte Hayden in their respective classes got agonisingly close. But in the under 73s, it was just over 20 seconds for Chloe Brennan to take the win. And in the under 82s, Becca Morgan and Hope Christie came as close can be, with 0.02 of a second, or was it 300ths of a second separating them. It was a photo finish either way, so congratulations on that performance. What a race. And also a light speed run from Wendy Stewart in the women's masters class, finishing that run in just over 20 seconds as well. Well done. And on the men's side of things, I think it was about this point in the day that the rivalry between Kyle Scott and Matt Neese for that top podium spot really started to heat up. Excuse the pun, it was a very hot day, and they really pushed each other on this event. Kyle Scott taking the win with a blistering time. This is 110 kilograms in each hand for 36 meters in 19.09 seconds, which was the quickest run over the entire weekend. And elsewhere in the under 80s, David Toner managed to pull out an epic performance and take third spot, narrowly beating Andrew Keys. In the under 90s, this was the event for Alex Valenzuela. He really turned it up and almost matched Kyle Scott's time, finishing with 19.84 seconds, which was nearly 5 seconds quicker than Pavlos in second place. Incredible. And another great performance on this one for Michael Tennant in the under 105s, finishing in just over 22 seconds. Then we had the shield carry for max distance. This was the third moving event of the day. It was the third moving event in a row, and almost everyone was really feeling this one. And I say almost everyone because Will O'Brady in the under 57s and Liam McConville in the under 80s just danced with the shield and managed to cover a distance in 60 seconds of over 100 meters, which by far is the biggest distance on this event across the whole weekend. There was a valuable event win in the under 90s for Tom Butts, covering a distance of 88.47 meters, but it kind of seems that anything above 60 meters was worth very good points. But this event seems to have been made for the smaller weight classes because the distances that a lot of these athletes covered was frankly ludicrous. The top four in the under 57 class all managed to cover more than 80 meters, and in the under 80s, 95.33 meters was only good enough for fourth. That's insane. And the final event was the stone over bar 4 reps, and it's probably about now we should mention the weather. Yes, it was a glorious weekend in Galway City. It looked beautiful. It was in the mid to high 20s on both days. Thankfully, the competition was run indoors, so we weren't exposed to the elements. But one thing that was exposed to those elements was the tacky. So the stones we used for this event looked new, and the consistency, I think, of a lot of people's tacky that they brought with them was the consistency of syrup, and was probably about as much use as syrup would have been. So that meant that a few athletes really struggled with this one. We had an epic battle in the under 57 kilogram weight class. Will O'Brady taking the outright win with 9 reps, but in second place, sharing 7 reps apiece, was Sophie Kennelly, Hannah Fitzgerald and Eileen Dewar. Tremendous. In the under 73 kilogram weight class, Laura Hollywood and Louise French went to town, getting 10 reps and 9 reps respectively. Chloe Brennan getting 6 reps, but I think that was more of a strategic thing because she had won 4 out of the 5 previous events, so her spot atop the podium was firmly secure, so why do more than you need to? But one podium that was definitely not secure was the under 80 kilogram podium, with Matt Neese and Kyle Scott fighting it out for the top spot with some added Matt Wally spice thrown in there. Kyle Scott taking the win with 9 reps, Matt Wally second with 8 reps. Great performance from him, and Matt Neese finishing third on this event with 7 reps. 6 reps was enough to take the win in the under 90 kilogram weight class for Anthony Krasinski, which I'm sure was welcome event win for him. I know there was 1 or 2 events that didn't quite go his way, but to win the final event, the Stones, well done. 6 reps was a decent number of reps to get some good points across all the men's weight classes. And there we are. Competition over. I'll not go through the podiums for each weight class because I will be here for forever, but congratulations to every single person that made the podium and every single person that received an invitation to the World Finals that are going to be taking place later this year in September. But I will backtrack just a little bit and touch upon the under 80 kilogram podium because due to a score adjustment at the end of the competition, as soon as it finished, were you to look at strength results, you would have seen a different podium to what actually happened. Some points were adjusted, rightly so, and that bumped Andrew Keys from a third place finish to joint third, but with the tiebreak presumably being decided via countback, Liam McConville actually stood on the podium. I'm not going to say any more on it than that, but Andrew Keys has done a post on his social media, so if you want to hear his thoughts on it, just go there. As for me, I finished joint 8th, which I'm quite happy with. I didn't quite realise until I watched the live stream. Go watch the live stream. Irish Strength, YouTube, watch the live stream. I didn't realise until I watched the live stream that after the second event, I zeroed the log, thought I might, did better than I hoped on the deadlift. I was in 12th place, so I managed to claw enough points back to end up 8th. So I am among the top 10 strongest natural strongmen in the UK and Ireland. So I'm pretty happy with my performance. I personally, talk about me for a bit, I'm going to take a bit of time off competing. I might do a competition in October, but the aim is to, never zero an overhead event again. It's too much now. I can't be having it anymore. And return to UKNS next year, just come for that podium. Why not? So, thank you for watching this video. If you haven't already checked out, I've started a podcast. It's called Desert Island Riffs, and it's talking about lifting a little bit, but it's mostly talking about the music that people listen to while they train. I've got 2 episodes up so far, more in the pipeline. It's a lot of fun to do. Hopefully it's fun and interesting to listen to. There is a Spotify playlist which is going to become a database for all of these songs. So if you want to check out any of the songs that I talked about, look for the Desert Island Riffs playlist on Spotify. I'll link to it on various social medias. And give the songs a listen. You might find some new stuff that you've not heard before that you might add to your playlist. But the podcast is being uploaded to both YouTube and Spotify, so you can pick where you choose to listen to it. So please like this video, share this video, and if you haven't yet, subscribe to the channel. I'll be back very soon. There's probably some news that I need to talk about. Ben Donnan. I'll be back very soon with another video, and until then, I'll see you next time.